The more people that join, the smaller the boxes get. So y'all will probably notice as it goes on this evening, I'll be like, so I can see. Thorn Crown Chapel in Arkansas. It's gorgeous.
It is
really neat.
Yes.
I don't know, but whoever worked on all that training video stuff, I did subscribe to the training videos that you all are doing.
Mhm.
That is amazing. I'm telling you, we love it. We
Hey,
absolutely love it.
that's good because we will never do another project like that again, probably ever.
Oh, it's good. I really like it. I like the test. I like everything about it is great. My employees love it.
Yeah, we are super proud of it, but it was a super long road. And Courtney knew. Courtney, we were all like, oh, it won't be that big of a deal. Come on, Courtney, let's do it. We tried for years to talk her into it. She kept saying no. Finally, we talked her into it. And 3 months in, I was like, what have we done?
I think the hardest part was actually trying to direct me how to clean in one video.
I've got to get those bloopers pulled. That stuff was funny.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. I love you guys'
Angelica's
bloopers anyway.
bloopers are the best.
I am a maid service owner that does not clean.
I think it's very interactive and I think it keeps it really fun. I think the hardest part is the manual, the manual, reading the manual seems to take them a long time, especially if they're slow readers. But the videos, I love the videos because it keeps it fun, it keeps it light, but there's so much more with the SDS sheets and the safety aspect of it. I really like it. So after I subscribed to that and I had all my current employees take it, I mean, we just took a half day and said, come in, you guys are going to do this deal. I want to know what your thoughts on it. And they really liked it. And it was helpful too for reminders and reinforcements.
Mhm.
I think going forward that I would decide that every 6 months to a year, they have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's funny because when we were like, talking to different business owners and stuff, trying to figure out, if we're going to do this, like Courtney's saying, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. So what does everybody hate about everything else? So then we had this mile-long list of things that we had to hit. It needed to be quick. It couldn't be boring. It needed to cover the technique, not following somebody around, cleaning an entire living room. Do not specify chemicals. We had this whole list of stuff to hit. So then trying to figure out, how do we write the script on this? How do we film this? Like it was so big.
I think you guys did a fantastic job. I mean, I really like it, but like it says, it doesn't substitute for training in the field. But
Yeah.
I
It's meant to instill a little bit of confidence in them before they're just thrown into a house. They're familiar with what a scope is, the terminology.
right.
Like none of the other training goes over what terminology they're going to encounter.
Right.
And they're on, week 2 sometimes, and they're still trying to figure out what a scope is or where a work order is.
Right.
So we wanted to put like the really basic stuff in there for brand new people that have never been, in the cleaning industry. So
the fun and light of it too. I think I really appreciated the fun and light of it. And then it was short videos, so you didn't get bored. There was no boring, and I love the fact that there was a test at the end.
Yeah, well, the SDS is arguably boring. There was just no way to make that one fun.
Well, but you know what? It saves us as business owners. It blankets a lot. So
Yeah.
I didn't have any training on that other than, hey, this is what an SDS sheet is. Here we have the Google link drive over here. This says you open this up and it has all the SDS sheets at your fingertips. Boom.
Well, Wendy, if you you might have already left us a review, but if you haven't, since that's what this, let me just mention it since we're on the topic of reviews.
All right. Well, if I don't get it done, then just bump me on that and I will do that.
You might have already left us one in both places. I'll have to check. You probably
Well,
already have.
I don't know that
you've
was
been with Rescue for years.
I've seen a review from Wendy.
Yeah. So yeah, but it would be great to have a specific, like if you could do reviews because it only allows you one, right? So it's hard because, you know, I can give a review for this and be specific about that, and I can give a review for this and be specific about that. The only other thing I can do is tell my girls, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you go over here and do a review? So I've done that for people like the people that made our shirts, because we have logoed shirts. And I said, you know, please do me a favor, go over here. And if you could all leave a review for this client, that would be great. I mean, that's what, 6 employees.
I had not even considered seeing if some of the employees that have been through it could do
Why
it.
not? Why not?
That's genius, Wendy.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So we have our own little review queen apparently
Cheers.
on here with us tonight.
That's not me, is it?
No, I was talking about Wendy. That's a good idea.
I was gonna say that's not me. She's
All right,
so
Gels,
smart.
do you want to go through introductions and then I'll share the slides and you can talk through it, or how do you want to do it? I think we should probably go through introductions. I think we've slowed down on people popping in now.
Okay, cool. Raise your hand if you want to be introduced.
Everybody knows who I am.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess let's start this off with I'm looking at the bottom of my screen here. So Elizabeth with her beautiful picture in Arkansas. Was that Arkansas that she mentioned? Yeah. If you want to pop off your mute and introduce yourself, be so lovely.
Sure. I'm Elizabeth. Yeah, that photo is a wonderfully magical place in Arkansas, but I'm actually located in North Carolina. We just moved here and are starting a cleaning business, and I just gave birth to a baby less than a week ago. So it's a time of new beginnings for a lot of things.
Oh, what part of North Carolina?
Just west of Asheville in a little town called Waynesville.
So you're not too far from me. I'm about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours north of you in Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
Congratulations on your baby.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bitty one too, if it was just a week ago.
Nice and fresh off the market. All right, I'm gonna go off to Jeffrey next. He's next on my list here.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm located in New Jersey, and I started my cleaning business a little over a year ago, so early 2021. So probably going on about 2 years now.
Nice. You're actually not too far away from me. I'm just outside Toronto, so a little hop skipping away from that lake, I guess.
Yes.
Good to have you, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
I have Clean for Good. I'm so sorry. I don't know what your name is, but I know you're from New Zealand, which is badass. So that's cool.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from New Zealand. I am the owner of Clean for Good. We do residential, and yeah, we have 150 clients, 12 cleaners. We started 2 years ago, so it's kind of crazy.
Wow. That's a
Yeah.
lot of growth in 2 years.
Yeah.
You started fresh, just fresh.
Yeah, I'm a mathematician, no background in cleaning. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Kind of crazy.
I'm impressed. We should have her do a webinar.
Right.
Go ahead, Oscar. You're next.
Hey everyone, I'm Oscar. I work with Angelica. I am not I think am I the only non-maid service owner here, so I do apologize, but I'm a partnerships manager at NiceJob. I was just outside. This is why I'm wearing this ridiculous jacket. But Sandi and I work closely together on planning all sorts of things that we can do together and bits of content. So I wanted to come along and hear how this all went.
Yeah, I was just bragging to Angelica about you. I was like, okay, the fact that y'all did all the graphics and that Kelsey put together this presentation, like you have no idea how much that helped. It's so nice working with you guys.
I love it. Thanks, Sandi.
Well, I just signed up for NiceJob.
Oh,
Did you?
go
Yeah.
on, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, pop in your email address. I'll check in and see what did you already do your onboarding?
I did do the onboarding actually yesterday, matter of fact. So I just linked it to Google and Facebook, and I kind of updated my Facebook because I didn't have a Facebook presence. So I'm actually literally right now putting some pictures on and putting the logo everything. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations. You're on your way to getting lots of reviews.
Yes.
NiceJob's amazing.
Okay, let's go to Wendy now, since you popped off and came back in.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm Wendy and I'm with No Nonsense Cleaning Services out in Vancouver, Washington. That's Washington
The other one.
State, not DC and not BC. Okay, Washington. Yeah.
Nice to have you, Wendy. Always a pleasure. Misty, you wanna do a little intro? Hey.
Hey, I'm Michelle's assistant. I'm in Missouri. She's Minnesota. So I don't own a business. I don't do anything. I'm her right-hand man.
She does a lot. Don't let her sit there and say she doesn't.
No, I do a lot. But
She
I don't
runs
own
a maid
business or
service.
anything.
No. She runs 3 maid services.
Yeah.
I do. I do have 3 under my belt at the moment.
Yeah, superwoman.
Hey,
Michelle.
I have a question. So wait, what does she do?
So Misty is a virtual assistant through Taskaway. So
I
then
help
she
with like booking and calling clients, scheduling the cleaners, taking.
So I have one quick question. Are you familiar with ZenMaid?
Absolutely, yeah. Very. All 3 of
Okay,
us use
I'll
it.
I'll hook up later.
Are
I
you
don't
taking
have
any
any
clients though?
she's too busy.
I'm next on that list, Wendy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Later.
And I'm trying to poach her.
there's
Oh,
there's
geez.
like a Misty wait list. Like it's an
Yes,
ongoing
but-
joke with the rescue team.
Yeah,
By the way, Misty, I did just sign the forms today for health insurance. If
I
you
know.
you would qualify if you were an employee.
Oh my gosh, I did that to my VA too. She's still no.
Is she still with you?
She is still with me. She loves me. I mean, I hope she does because I treat her pretty well, but but yeah, I tried to get her on board as an employee too, so she can get health benefits.
Oh, good.
Michelle, you want to do a quick intro before Sandy and I take it off?
Sounds good. I am Michelle Allegreza. I own a business in Minnesota. So you have met Misty, my wonderful assistant, and I also work with both Sandy and Angelica with Rescue My Maid service. And I'm on the Zen Maid team as well.
Michelle wears all the hats,
I
y'all.
do
All
all
the
the things.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, I am Sandy, better known as the Chaos Coordinator for Rescue My Maid service. And I am here just to click the button for the slides tonight. Angelica is going to take it away.
Yes. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. So happy to have you guys here. I am Angelica. I'm actually a maid service owner myself, like most of you, but I also work on the, actually, I'm a Rescue My Maid service team member, as well as Michelle mentioned, but I also work at NiceJob, which is my full-time job. I was a user of NiceJob well before I started working for NiceJob, and I just really liked the environment there and decided that, hey, why don't I get a job there? So they actually took me, so it was great. So what I'm going to do today, which I'm sure that you guys are super excited about, is talk about how to respond to bad reviews, why it matters, and give you a couple of examples and our advice. Sandy, do you mind sharing the screen actually? Because
I'm trying to get it back to the first page of the slides. It's my lag is terrible, y'all. So there is gonna probably might end up being some issues with that. Let's see here. All right, let me share from here first.
I mean, I could share the screen. It's just like, won't see my notes, so I'll totally wing it, which might be cool. Perfect.
All right, hold on. I think I got it. Let me make it. Whoop, no, that's not what I want. Slideshow.
Here you
The
go.
leader in technology in the industry, y'all. Everybody laugh.
Round of applause for Sandy.
Right. All right. I
we got it.
think we're good. Yes.
All right, so responding to your bad reviews, why it matters and why it's important, of course. As we mentioned, I'm Angelica, and our lovely Sandy, Chaos Coordinator, were throwing this party for us. So why are reviews important? On average, customers read about 10 reviews before booking a service. Customers think that reviews are 12 times more credible than actual sales copy. Having at least 10 customers reviews increases search traffic by 15 to 20%, and 84% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. It's like digital word of mouth. Hold on. If you think about it, if you were to go on Amazon and look for a hairdryer, are you going to just buy whatever you see first, or are you going to actually look into the reviews there and see which one has the best reviews, which one has the most reviews? I don't know. If you're up to me, I only look at the 4 stars and up. I filter it directly to there and make sure that it has some good reviews there before I even think about purchasing it. I'm sure many of you think the same way. When you think about customers that think about that reviews are 12 times more credible than sales copy, that means that people think that reviews are 12 times more like trustworthy than an actual salesperson talking to you. So it's important to have reviews even before people enter into your sales funnel, because they are reading about you and learning about what your reputation is and how you are. When you have at least 10 customer reviews, it increases your sales traffic by 15 to 20%, but it also doubles your sales traffic if you have it on your website, because they're going to go straight to your website and see what you guys are all about, build in that trust, and then click that book button right away. Lastly, if you, when you, we can go on to the next slide. Sorry, I missed my notes there. All right, so how companies handle reviews is an important part of their reputation. Put your hand up if you have had a bad review. I can't see everybody's hands, but I'm pretty sure everyone's had a bad review. So it's not something to really worry about. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Love it. It's not something to really worry about. It's something to just build upon and grow your business from it and learn from your mistakes. But there's definitely typical kinds of bad reviews. Sandy, you can go ahead to the next slide. We've kind of generalized them into 4 categories for the sake of this session. Turnover issues. So for example, labor changes, if someone's not if the same cleaner is not at the clean and someone new goes in, pricing increases. Unfortunately, with the times so turbulent these days, that's going to have to happen in order to be able to pay those cleaners so that we can remain competitive with our pricing. Not meeting expectations. This is a big one that we'll go into a little bit later on, but ideally, anytime you get a review that's not a 5-star review, it's something to look at and see how you can improve your processes with. And fraudulent reviews. Ew, that's all I have to say to that one.
Right.
Just sneaky little buggers. Anyways, so top reasons not, one of the top reasons, like I mentioned, is not reading customers' expectations. And I'm going to put into the chat a document of an example of customer guidelines. Where's that chat bubble here? So you guys can take a look at that on your spare time. But realistically, if you are getting a bad review, it's time to take a look at your customer guidelines and see what's missing there to in order to create a better customer experience for them. Often than not, it's that bad review is going to be a reflection of you not meeting their expectations, whether it's pricing, whether it's missing areas of where you cleaned, whether it's having an initial clean and not cleaning the same way on the next clean with the maintenance clean. My dog's going nuts. Sorry about that. Any sort of aspect of your guidelines that are not clear to that customer is generally a reason why you may get a bad review, where it's not meeting the customer's expectations. But I think you can go on next slide. So here are some examples of how to respond to a bad review. First of all, responding to it on the same day that it comes and super quickly is super important, because you want to nip that in the bud right away and hopefully be able to take it offline and come to a resolution and create a happy customer that could create a possibility for that person to become a happy customer. Be professional when replying to bad reviews. It's so easy to get fired up and angry at somebody that's questioning your integrity. You really got to not get your panties in a twist and keep it like calm, cool, and collected. Again, take it offline as best as you can. That's really the goal of any real bad review, so that you can make it into a better experience for that customer. Keep it brief. Just keep it simple, as they say. You want to create a way to get them to contact you as soon as possible to take it offline and resolve that issue, but don't put too much information in there. If it has to do with your guidelines, if it has to do with expectation not being met, make sure that you do refer back to your guidelines, because if that review doesn't get changed eventually, new customers are going to read that review, are going to see why they got that review, and they'll see that it's in regards to their customer guidelines. I don't want to change the, well, we can change to the next one anyway. Provide a public response to, provide a public response and then take the conversation offline. As we mentioned many times, the goal is to get it offline. But what's important is that, for example, if it's having to do something with your employees and them being unsafe in their area, or not meeting customers' expectations because we're not adhering to employee standards or keeping our employees safe. It's super important for a potential client, to read that review and see why that review was made up the way that it was, and giving a response that shows that we care about our customers we care about our employees just as much as we do about our customers. And I don't know if it was Wendy, but somebody just mentioned while we were chatting it up that this could actually attract future employees too, because they see that you care about your employees. Know when to when to respond and when to let it lie. Well, as they say, it's it's not going to always be a happy resolution. Just breathe in, breathe out, and just let it go. If it doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, concentrate your energy on creating another positive experience, so they can drown out that one that just doesn't fit. Just let it go, because there's nothing that you can do to change people's minds sometimes. And learn how to handle negative reviews and crisis management. If it is something that is legitimately a crisis that you need to fix, it's best to have your support staff and your team know how to react to all these kind of things, and have like a contingency in place so that you can give the best experience to the customers, even in a crisis situation. Use bad reviews to improve. So as I mentioned with the customer guidelines, and any review is feedback, whether it's good feedback or bad feedback, it is always there to help you grow. If it does not work within the guidelines that you have already set with your customers, improve your customer guidelines. Go back to them, see what it is that you're missing in there in the communication to make sure that that experience is there. And always have the opportunity to grow. So I believe in the resources that we're going to have sent out after this talk. We're going to have an actual response template that will help you build your responses to any bad reviews that you might get, hopefully none, but it's good to have a contingency plan just in case. And this is a great example of how to respond. We would like to apologize for your recent experience. We're sorry to hear that you were less than satisfied with our services. We pride ourselves on our service and the high quality standards we maintain. We would like to make things right. You can expect a call from me to soon discuss what occurred and how we might make it up to you. This is a great way to actually respond to the review on site, but also offline. All right, well, here's two examples of how
These are our live examples, not our live, our examples that were submitted beforehand.
Yes. So we actually asked ahead of time to submit some examples of reviews that we can respond to on this call. And since there's not too many of us, I'm curious to see if you want to unmute yourself, if you have any suggestions on how we can respond to the first one where it's disappointing today. Maybe bar set too high with initial cleans. Any ideas, guys?
Quick question, Angelica.
Yeah.
Are these two separate
Mhm.
bad reviews, or are they but part of the same one?
No,
They're
it's two separate.
Two separate
Cool.
reviews from two separate clients. And separate companies altogether.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. They're kind of very similar. Again, it has to do with meeting expectations.
And
Go ahead, Stephanie.
well, here's what I notice about it. I don't know if it's like how I would respond, but what I notice with both of them is that there's something missing in the communication. That's why there is disappointment. So they're not specific. It doesn't say why it was disappointing or what they had their bar set at. But obviously in the communication prior to the cleaning, it was not expressly outlined what would or wouldn't be done. So that's where you would go back and edit your guidelines so that they're clear. Like that's what I would take from this. But as far as responding, you're the pro. I'll let you handle that.
Well, we have a lot of pros over here, not just me. But definitely I would, oh, I'm sorry, Jeffrey, would you like to give it a shot? Please do.
Yeah, I was saying for the first one, I'm disappointed today. Maybe bar was set too high with initial cleans. I would, first apologize. Say, sorry that we didn't meet your expectations. I would probably say, would you be able to, tell me what you expected from the clean, or just try to get some more information out of this to figure out, what was their expectation, what, especially based off of the initial clean versus a maintenance clean, or a recurring cleaning, and try to set that expectation. Say, yes, the initial clean, we tend to do a lot more because we want to set a standard, and the maintenance cleans usually come in and just maintain the place. Can you tell me what were you expecting based off of the maintenance clean, and see if we can kind of get into a conversation and then bring their expectation, because maybe they're a new customer and they expected the same quality of service on every clean. But then we can kind of now discuss, well, on the maintenance clean, they're not going to spend as much time because they were just there 2 weeks ago. So something along those lines.
That's so great. And it makes total sense to bring it back to the guidelines and look at what you could improve on. Go ahead, Oscar. How can I help you? I mean, can you please help?
That was fun. I enjoyed raising my hand. I think that was such a good response. I think I've had the joy of talking about this subject with a few people recently, and what I think is the key distinction we were talking about a little bit in the example we just gave in your previous points, Angelica, is the difference between your public response and then what you do in the background to try and reach out to that customer and get that conversation going. I would always say, like, if you're going to be responding on Google or something like that, I would just, do the first part of just like apologize, show that you're listening to them, make sure that you're thinking about other people, what they're going to see when they look at your response. And then all of that other stuff about, hey, what are their expectations? How can we get a conversation going? How can I make all that stuff up to you? I reckon you should just back channel that kind of stuff. That's the whole take it offline conversation.
One thing that I got this from Rescue. So this is an example from the guidelines that you're probably going to see in the resources. But one thing that we have instilled in our guidelines is that we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So in order to get them to take it offline, I would say, thank you so much for the response, or the review rather. We take all feedback very seriously, and we love to improve on what we have or on our processes. We do have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So we would love to make this right for you within 24 hours. If we're going to give you a call and see what it was that we missed, and see how we can make it right for you. I would love to hear what Misty has to say, because she is probably rock star at this too.
I wouldn't say I'm a rock star, but I do have some under my belt. So with this first one, disappointing today, maybe bar was set too high with the initial cleans. I would always start off with, I never, ever start off with, I'm sorry, my apologies. I never start off with saying that, mind you, this is years of personal therapy that I've had to go through in my own personal life. So I never will take the blame. I don't ever accept the blame at first. So I never apologize first and then say, this is what happened or what happened here. So, I say, thank you so much. First, you build them up. You say, thank you so much for reaching out. We use this in our training. We're going to use this for our training. This constructive criticism is what helps us build and grow as a company. And then, so I say, at one point, I will say, first I say thank you, then we go ahead and, give our apologies. So then I will say, I'm sorry, or I apologize for our cleaners not meeting our expectations, not the customer's expectations. Okay, because we have a standard scope of work that they must follow, and it's very structured, and we have a guideline that they have to follow, policy and procedures. So I let them know, if they did not follow our policy and procedures and our structured scope of work, what is it that they missed? So then they understand that there's something that the cleaner is supposed to follow. Just because they didn't pick up your kids' moldy milk dishes on their nightstand, that's not within our scope of work. Dishes are not within our scope of work. So if this is where the fault lies, then it's not really something that we need to fix on our end. Does that make sense?
Totally. And actually, Wendy just made a comment in the chat that I noticed, and she just said she had a doozy well back with a biohazard situation. And I'm sure that probably is in line with what you're saying there, because it's not in your scope of work to deal with that kind of stuff, right? And they should, if they read the customer guidelines, then they would have probably seen that this is not something that we do. We do not. I don't want to get into biohazards because we've.
Oh, girl, they signed the sheet about it, and I had to point it out to them. You signed the sheet that said about the biohazards. I don't know why we're having this conversation.
That's a point. Sorry, that's what I was going to say real quick. Make sure the customer guidelines are getting signed, that they're getting acknowledged.
It did get signed, and the guy smeared me everywhere. He went to Yelp, he went to Google, he went to the Better Business Bureau, which I'm not even a part of. He did get his money back from the credit card, which I don't know how that even happens. My bookkeeper she's like, I don't even know how that happens, because you perform service. So it's not like you didn't perform service. So how did he get his money back? I don't know. I didn't have the time to deal with it. And it took so much of my emotions that I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I mean, I responded, and then he went into Google and he changed his review. It was still a 1 star, but he changed all his writing. So my response to his first writing, he went in and you'll just have to go in and read it. It was a nightmare. It's not the only 1 star. I had somebody randomly, I think it was somebody I know, but they're a random person who went in and put in a 1 star, but I think it wasn't a personal thing versus a business thing. I mean, come on, if their name is Candy Treasure and it's the only review that they've ever done, right?
I gotta tell you, I was debating on starting this talk off with a little bit of affirmations, saying, you are not your reviews. You are not your reviews. You are not your reviews. So it's really important not to beat yourself up on these things, because they're just moments of ways to improve and learning experiences. So even if it is something that is completely out of your control, you still can figure out a way to avoid it. And there's always a solution to a problem. So I love this. I love getting all this kind of feedback from everybody and learning from it.
And it's something that I've noticed with a lot of the newer maid service owners that we talk to. They're just getting into where people are starting to leave reviews, and then they're getting that first bad review or that first, 3 star or something. And the emotional toll that it takes on them, the stress from it is it's heartbreaking sometimes because they want all good reviews. Of course, we all do. And it really just takes time and experience in the industry to develop your thinking on it and your mindset for it and focusing more on the positive. And it's really hard for them when they're early on to know how to just, don't take it personal. It's feedback, respond, move on.
Yeah, if you have a moment, there's a really good book. I forget the author, but it's actually called Thank You for the Feedback. It has revolutionized the way that I think. And even in like my workplace, anytime someone gives me feedback, I'm like, thank you. I need to learn more. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. It's kind of similar, but the cleaning service was not as expected. They charged me a lot and a few spots were missed. Not worth the money spent. How would you respond to this guy? Any takers on this one? No. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
very-
what? So I'd be like, what the heck? A few spots? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. A few spots. Okay, a few spots. I'm sorry. I missed a few spots. We'll get that on the next one. Get that on the next one. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
kidding. I
Well,
mean,
that's
I mean, I don't get those. That to me, that's really petty. It's a petty review, but how would I respond to it? I've never gotten a petty review like that. So that's a difficult one. I don't know how to respond to that. I would call my girlfriends, my cleaning girl, and go, what the heck, man? How do I deal with this? What is this? Because it's my weakness, how to respond. That's why I'm here. How to respond to it. Because me, I'm like, a spot. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we miss a spot? We'll get on the next one.
Yeah, you got to really detach yourself from these kind of things and just see how you can take it offline and make them either just become a better customer, because sometimes people like this, you just don't want them as customers anyway, right? And that goes with another session that we can probably have about how firing our customers. Yes, Sandy, how can you help?
I looked up the book while you were talking, so somebody can type it in the chat. I can't go into the chat and type anything while I'm sharing my screen. It's Thanks for the Feedback. Is this the right one? By Douglas Stone and Sheila Heen.
That's the one. Yeah.
All right. Somebody can pop that in the chat so that we have it. I'll save it over here too. We can add the link to the Amazon link to the resources.
Okay, Steph.
Hey, Sandy. Sandy, send it over to my Facebook. I'll pop the link in.
Steph is leaving. Thank you so much for joining. We'll shoot you a message after, okay? Okay, so thanks for the feedback by, I think Michelle's gonna send it, the link in the chat.
Yep, I will.
I'm going to send her the Amazon link as soon as Facebook opens with my slow internet.
We should open up an Amazon store, just saying. Okay, so actually this review in particular with the feedback with the response was actually submitted. So I'll read you guys out the response and let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for your review. We appreciate you taking the time to give us feedback. Our cleans are all 100% satisfaction guarantee, and we make sure to cover all your needs. If you feel we did not check off a box, please feel free to contact us and let us know after the cleaning. We'll gladly come back to check off that box. We are always happy to make things right because G-Power's got your back in their situation. So what do you guys think? Do you think that was a good response?
Yeah.
I
I played the response game with Kelsey earlier. I don't know if Oscar saw that or not.
What was that, Sandy?
We were talking about the resources and the examples for
Oh, yeah.
responses that I need. And I was like, well, this is what I would say. And she was like, that's actually pretty good. So we were talking about like a couple of when I was doing the research for this webinar, I was going in the groups and I was, looking to see who was posting about it, what their issues were, things like that. And one of the ones that I ran across a few times is that the review was about being short-staffed basically, or not getting the same cleaner every time. And that's, it wasn't anything about the service. It was about not having the same cleaner every single appointment. The client was upset. So let me read y'all what I sent to Kelsey. I was like, is this NiceJob approved here? Thank you for your feedback. We truly do appreciate it, as it is what helps us improve systems and customer relationships. We value our employees a great deal for the job they do, and as such, we are very amenable to their needs for time off and schedule change requests, which results in us not being able to guarantee the same cleaner each visit. If you would like to discuss this further, please reach out to our office. I went with that because anybody that's looking at the reviews that somebody has written for the business, so they're doing their review, research on my company, there's going to be the ones that read that and go, they care about their employees. There's going to be the ones that want the same cleaner every time and immediately are going to eliminate themselves from my pipeline. I don't have to worry about it. And anybody looking for a job is going to be like, wow, they care about their employees. So that encompassed three things while still being professional and setting the tone that we're not making this change.
Yeah.
Nice job approved, Sandy.
Yeah. I give you a thumbs up for that one.
I've been practicing.
I think, a big thing for me, and Angelica was talking about this earlier, is that it's just to think like, what's the main reason behind this? And if I'm thinking with the lens of like, why am I responding to this? And it's almost like 30% or 40%, I reckon, depends on how you want to skew it, is you're responding to that particular client. And obviously you're trying to make things right. You want to make sure they're super happy with your service. But I would almost kind of argue that 60 and 70% is that it's a public thing that people that aren't clients of your business yet are looking at. And if you can just like keep that in your mind when you're writing this response, that I think that kind of helps you do the whole thing. And then you obviously wrote a great reply, Sandy.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I sat here for probably a good 15 minutes to come up with that. I'm like Wendy. I've been in this business for a long time. When somebody says something bad, I'm like, I really want to post the meme that I posted in the Rescue Mastermind as a response. Like, that's what I would like to do. But I'm learning with you guys. Y'all are teaching me well.
It's a worthwhile investment of time. Like if you think that let's say you've got 50, 60 Google reviews, all of them are really good, and you maybe have 2 bad reviews. Sometimes what people do is they go onto Google and they're looking and they say, show me the bad ones first. And so even if there aren't many and you've just invested like 15 minutes, half an hour of your time to craft a reply that you're really pleased with, that'll be so worth it in the long term, because potentially hundreds of people might read that response. So it's definitely worth the effort.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Wendy.
I think too, so I only have 2 bad reviews. The one was whatever it was, and the other one was, a biohazard situation, whatever. So I forgot where I was going with that. I totally lost my train of thought. I think so. Oh, what Oscar was saying about bad reviews, good reviews, because I personally do that myself. But when I was talking to my two right left people that I have in my corner, they were like, you can't have a 5.0 all the time, Wendy. You need to get over that. 1, 2, the validity. What's the word? The validity. I can say it. Validity. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Here, I'll have one. I know. No, I just having trouble with the word, but I think that matters, right? Like if somebody's there's a biohazard situation and was responded. I mean, obviously anyone could read that. Yeah, nobody wants to come clean up your mouse poop, right? That's disgusting. And the other one is, whatever it was, I don't even know what it was. It was so stupid, right? Like it's stupid. So I think the bad reviews, as far as what they're actually saying, matters, because I look at that when I go and look at show me the least, I look at what their complaint was and how they are responding and the words that they're using, I think matters. Either they're just a complainer that just was looking for a problem, or, I mean, things happen, right? Like, I think in context, right? Everything in context matters. So I'm with Oscar with what he said on that I think that's what saves me from being upset about it. Like the context, and as long as you respond appropriately and professionally and trying to make it right, then I think we're all good. Right? It's hard though.
Yeah, it is. So speaking of validity of reviews, let's chat a little bit about those pesky illegitimate reviews. So we have some tips because unfortunately there's not so much that we can do from those illegitimate reviews. But one of the best ones is to actually write response and say, similar to Sandy's meme on the topic, I'm sorry, we do not have you in our CRM. Just straight up, like that's probably the best response to somebody that is not a legitimate review, because they can't really rebuttal that and say, yeah, we are. No, they're not. We can prove that they're not. But then, so I believe this response is going to be in the template of the resources as well, correct, Sandy? Awesome. Okay, so then you can go ahead to the next one then too. So do we want to play this quick 1-minute video just for the examples of for the way to actually flag inappropriate reviews?
I did not think about this when we decided I would do the screen sharing, because my lag when I try to play this is going to be terrible.
Okay.
We can try.
Let's
We can
try
give it a shot, but it's probably
Yeah.
going to be bad.
Okay.
Let's try.
It's movie time.
Video will show you how to report an inappropriate review of your business. Before you report a review, make sure it violates Google's review policies. We can't remove reviews because you disagree with it or don't like it. You can find more info at the policy link in the description of this video. Once you're certain that Google's policies were violated, you can continue flagging the review. Sign in to Google My Business at google.com/business. For multiple locations, choose the one you want to manage. For a single location, click Reviews. Find the review you want to report. On the top right of that review, click the 3 dots and then Flag as Inappropriate. Enter your information, then click Submit. Once you report the review, be patient. It can take several days to take a look at your submission. We'll follow up with you only if we require more information or if we have additional information to share. You're all done. To learn more, visit our help center at support.google.com/business.
So I'm sure that you all enjoyed that lovely voice over my voice to explaining that to you. But that's pretty much it. That's all you can do with one of those illegitimate, fraudulent reviews. Maybe you sometimes might get lucky and Google will actually remove it. If you want to go to the next slide, there's Google product experts that will see these posts, but for the most part, they're just really going to leave them, to be honest. So just making do with them and being at peace that it's there and providing the best response that you can to help with the next customers. Yes, Sandy, I know you're dying to say something.
Because here's my question, okay? Because I am busy. I would much rather, for an illegitimate review, respond with like that template, like, hey, you're not in our CRM. Is it under another name? And not even waste the time. But is that bad? If it is actually an illegitimate review, should I make the time after I respond to go ahead and report it too? Or is it a matter of preference? Like,
So great question.
Where do y'all weigh in on that?
Great question. There's probably a varying response to this one, but my opinion would be to do exactly as you do, just leave it alone and provide that blanket response of that they are not part of your CRM and that they're not a customer, because Google will identify that and eventually maybe they'll actually remove it on their own. But if it is something where I've heard of like review bombing, where they get their friends and family to start trashing that Google business profile, I would probably take some steps of action towards that, because that's a little bit more obvious that it's not legitimate and it's fraudulent. So maybe Google will actually respond to that.
And a couple of less than 5-star reviews are actually good for the algorithm, right?
Absolutely. It makes Google believe that you are not soliciting only positive reviews and review gating, as we mentioned in another session about reviews. What review gating is when somebody, when you have a a software that actually can say, did you have a good experience or did you have a bad experience? If they have a bad experience, they don't get sent to Google. If they had a good experience, they get sent to Google. This is actually a process that can unfortunately lead to suspension of Google business profiles or withholding of reviews. And it's not great, because then you're not getting authentic feedback from your customers. I'm sorry, Wendy made a comment in here. I'd love to see what she has to say.
Oh, were you ready for the next one? Sorry. I wanna hear
Yeah,
them.
yeah, I'm good. Me as well, and Google won't take it down. I had a friend happen on Facebook. Yep. Yeah. It happens to everybody. And now customers are becoming even smarter, and they know that these things are happening. So they're not going to let things like this really sway their opinion about the company. Okay.
I think Angelica, the star rating question is a really interesting one. And I was even doing this today. I was trying to find an example for another presentation I was doing, and typing out like painting company in Vancouver or something. That's Vancouver, Canada, by the way, Wendy. And the options I was given, it was really interesting. There was a 5-star one with like 40 reviews or something, and then there was a 4.8 with 135 reviews. And I thought the 4.8 one looked like a way more powerful profile, just because it just looks more authentic. There's more people. I think that the number thing has a really big impact. But then just even the 4.8 just actually makes it a much more believable number. You actually think that there are real customers having real experiences, stuff's going wrong, they're having to deal with things. It's not just this kind of like pristine, perfect situation that seems a bit dubious. Go on, Sandy.
I have another question. Okay, so what about the reviews where they go on and they hit like the star, like 3 stars. They give you 3 stars, 2 stars, whatever. They leave no comments, no feedback. What do you do with those?
Just from like talking to people, those are like the most annoying ones, I think, for people, because, and it's almost like the people who say they leave a glowing review and it's only 4 stars. And it's just, I talk to so many business owners that think, man, I wonder, like, what was I doing? How can I make that better?
I mean, do you respond? I mean, do you say, can you elaborate? Like, I mean, or like, what do you do with those? It's awkward. It's the awkward review thing.
Yeah, I think if it was me, I think I definitely just hit them with the whole thanks so much for leaving a review and the feedback. It would be great to know what we could do to get you from a 3 to a 5-star. And then I'd love to reach out to you, or feel free to call the office or something. That'd probably be what I would do. Because A, you might get some valuable feedback, and B, people look at that and see that you care.
And C, they could have been on their phone and accidentally hit 2 and
yeah, they might have done it wrong.
5. It happens.
And this is another thing I think that we have. I'm not sure if it's in the blog article resource that we've got, but one thing you can definitely do if somebody does leave you a review like that, or it's a bad review, and you go through a really good kind of customer care process and you reach out to them, you take it offline, you sort the situation out, they're really happy with how you've dealt with it, you can always ask that person to go back and write a little edit on that Google review saying, after I posted this, I spoke to Angelica, we sorted it out, now I'm really happy. Because that's almost like the best thing you could ever see on a negative review if you're looking at it as a potential customer.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you can't actually ask for you can ask for another review, but they're not able to add more than 1 review to the site. So if they do want to update their review, that's a great opportunity for them to make it better and make us show that we can create that 3-star into a 5-star.
And something else that I learned getting ready for this, when I was going through the slides earlier, we were going through like the rules and stuff, and I've never thought about it, is if you've got the bad review, you address it, you take it offline and you make that customer happy. Like in my mind, I'm happy. I made the customer happy. It ended there. But I was looking at the rules earlier and it was like, go back and comment again and be like, so glad we could work this out. So that you make the copy to make a point that everybody's looking, that y'all took it offline and the customer is now happy. And then the customer doesn't have to update that way.
Yeah.
I had I want you. I had an experience. I first started with Google Local Services. It was a new product that Google had, and you're not able to comment on the reviews, and they also can't edit the reviews once they post it. But the person started off the review by saying, I received service 3 times. Each time was excellent, and it was very glowing in the beginning, and then after that, it just went downhill from there. And another customer later on had told me they saw the review, but they could tell that the person was just upset and they were just venting because of the way the review was written. They were like, and they saw all the other reviews, and the other reviews were, glowing reviews, 4 or 5 stars. And as a customer, they kind of saw through the lines. They just saw that, okay, that person was just upset because they gave me a 1 star, but yet it was like, I got service from them 3 times. Each time was excellent, except for the last one. And it just so happened to be around Thanksgiving of last year. So the customer was able to just, read through it and understand that they were just upset that they didn't get what they wanted because of the holiday, high pressure, all of that. And they still, wanted to work with us because of, just the way that the customer was. So sometimes, as your point's saying, is that customers are smart enough to read reviews and understand what's going on. So unfortunately, I called Google because I wanted to comment to it, but because it was a new product of theirs, they said there's no way you can comment to this post or anything. But I had other people try to post reviews to kind of drown it out a little bit.
Is that still the case with Google Local? I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it still is. I probably, and since that time, I haven't really asked people to put reviews on, and partly because of that, I don't really trust like what they're going to say. So they're kind of stale. It's kind of why the NiceJob came in handy. It was like, I need to get some reviews is partly why I joined NiceJob. But yeah, they got stale. It was like 1 year ago reviews. But yeah, it's still the same thing. They don't let you comment on the Google Local service.
Huh.
But you can still get the reviews from Google Business Profile show up on the Google Local service. So it's so much better just to concentrate on getting those reviews instead of the other.
Yeah. So I signed up for the Google Business now. So
we're so happy to have you, Jeffrey. So as Jeffrey just mentioned, actually great segue, because we can actually help you at NiceJob to get more Google reviews and drown out those less than ideal reviews that you might be getting. So staying on top of reviews, whether they're positive or negative, can be super time consuming and inefficient. And if you are like most of us, where you don't have time, like you just don't have time because you're wearing way too many hats, it's super important to outsource this kind of things so you can still stay on top of them. As you know, reputation management is super important. What we do is reputation marketing, where we actually will get that review, that happy review, and we'll share that review across certain social media platforms and your website, and make sure that we can get you as many customers as we can from that great review, and just continue that process from there. Will be seen so much. Yeah. Facebook and Google's definitely king for where you want to get your reviews. And yeah, here's our great spectacular deal that we're offering everybody. As our American friends know, I'm from Canada, and so is Oscar, and maybe some other people too, but we don't celebrate Black Friday other than shopping. Sorry.
I'm definitely not from Canada, but that's okay.
Okay, Oscar, you're living in Canada. Let's
yeah. That's
fine, fair. He's obviously British. But yeah, so we're offering you guys a great deal.
I just thought he had a cold.
I wish I sounded like that if I had a cold. We sorry. So great opportunity for you to try out NiceJob. Jeffrey, did you get this deal on your account?
I did. I did. I think you were on the call yesterday with
I was
Convert
gonna
Labs.
ask you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the Convert Labs demo over there too. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I love seeing faces again. That's awesome. Yeah. So we are offering 75%. Oh my gosh, Sandi, what is it?
Okay, so I'm just double checking that for our CBN members who have access to the partner deals, they can also take advantage of this, right?
Yeah, for sure. This is way better than any deal that we've ever had before. So
So
definitely
they can do
advantage of it.
this and then get the CBN. Okay, all right,
Yeah,
perfect.
just make sure that they contact me so that I can get that set up for them, because it's going to be a manual process, but I'm happy to do it because obviously this is a great deal that everybody needs to take advantage of.
You guys take care of our CBN people so well.
We just love everybody. Yeah, so our standard program or standard pricing is $75 a month. We do not operate on any contracts. There's no setup fee. We like to earn your business every month. But like I said, we're offering this deal for 75% off. I think it works out to $18 a month for the first 2 months to just try out NiceJob and see how amazing it is and how it's going to help you grow your business. And oh, I'm going to put into the chat my calendar link so you guys can get on with, where did it go? Sandy, do you have it? No, right?
I have it. I have to send it to either you or Michelle because I'm sharing my screen. So hold on.
I can get it. I can get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can probably get it quicker than I can. I had like all of the links set up, but I didn't realize I was going to be doing this part. So now I can't do anything else.
All right. I put my calendar link in there. Please do join me, even if it is just to chat and ask me questions. I am very happy to support anybody in the maid service industry, because not that I'm like any expert, but I'm just happy to chat it out anytime. But yeah, so I believe there's going to be, as we mentioned, some resources getting sent out. Of course, you can watch the replay. Hopefully it's been informative for you guys and help you get through these tough patches of those nasty reviews that we don't really love. Keep in mind, you need to detach yourself from those. Those are, I'm going to do the mantra. You are not your reviews. You are not your reviews. Let's all repeat it with ourselves together. You are not your reviews. You are, and you are not your reviews.
I am not my reviews.
I am not my reviews. You are an amazing person. You guys are running your businesses amazingly, and just stick to it and keep going, because any feedback that you get is just going to help you grow and get better. Oh, Michelle, thank you. Let's get you guys set up. So join me on that link, and let's get you guys on a trial. And any questions before I let you guys all go on this beautiful Thursday evening?
Just a real quick for the NiceJob. I'm already set up and everything. I have everything set up. The questions that I do have, and this might not be the call for it, or you could point me in the right direction, though, is that I know that from what my understanding, the way that it works is that when someone first gets the invite, they write a review, and then that's pretty much it for them. But how are we able to set up recurring reviews? Because I have had people that like to review each time they get a service, because they review it based off of the service they receive and not the company itself. And they've given me feedback based off of each recurring service. So is there a way for me to set it up in NiceJob that lets it go out each time they get a service?
Absolutely. This is a great question, because a lot of people do not know about this, the value of getting a review on every service. So what we have set up by default in our stop it, Michelle. What's set up by default in our campaigns is a 6-month cool down period. So you can actually change that. I actually changed it for my company. I changed it to 3 months because we like to get more reviews as best as we can. And I am so closing this chat bubble there. You guys are hilarious. So yeah, you can change it to like 3 months, and then you'll get more reviews that way on the service. It's probably best, depending on how you want to set it up, to get them to leave reviews. However, they won't be able to leave reviews on Google or Facebook more than once. We do have a NiceJob option that they can review multiple times on, and this will be great for you, for your feedback and for your SEO, because we'll be able to post that review onto your website and onto your social media accounts once it gets reviewed. Anything that's 4 stars or up is always going to be repurposed automatically if you have it set up that way. But with Google and Facebook, you can only leave 1 review.
Okay. Yeah.
But Jeffrey, if you want to change the default cooldown period, definitely get with your activation specialist, whoever set you up, and they'll be able to switch that up for you, no problem.
Okay. All right. Yep. I'll reach out to them. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions?
I think I asked all of mine. The fact that I even show up with questions is hysterical, because I literally prepare for the webinar and then I still show up with questions.
Well, I have to say, I think we did really well this time. It only went over by 10 minutes. Yes.
However,
Technically, it was like 15 minutes before we dove in because people were trickling in and stuff. So we're on time.
Okay, cool.
So Wendy sent me a message. I think she didn't realize it was just to me. But how is this different than QDS?
Great question. So QDS is getting reviews or feedback on your cleaners versus your actual company. And having the reviews on QDS is still very good because you get the feedback, and quality-driven software, of course, how it's called, is going to give you the best feedback for your cleaners. However, it's not going to propel your business in terms of like getting more customers, because the SEO quality that you're going to get from the reviews from Google and Facebook, the repurposing of those reviews to your social media accounts and website is going to add more SEO and get you better ranking on Google, where people mostly are searching for you. So if you want to get more customers, you want to get those reviews visually in front of their faces. But don't get me wrong, QDS is great, and just a different goal to get reviews.
Yeah, it's a little bit different of a setup there.
Yeah, we're actually partners with QDS. So there's a way to get the review to, so once you get a review on QDS, you can get it sent to NiceJob as well. There's only, I personally think that is going to diminish the amount of reviews that you're going to get, because too many steps in the process of getting that review will have the customer have like customer paralysis, where they're just going to be like, yeah, I left a review, that's enough. But if your goal is to get more reviews on Google or Facebook so you can get more ranking and more business and more visibility, then you definitely need to eliminate some of those steps. Yes.
Sorry, you made me think of another question. And what is, I know NiceJob like tracks it all, right? Because like if you're looking at your review management, you're a bigger company, you've got reviews all over the place. You've got reviews on Facebook, you got reviews on Google, you got reviews on Yelp. Like y'all software helps kind of keep it all together, because like keeping track of it is an issue if you don't have some kind of help. You know what I mean? Like that's not something you can really keep track of in a spreadsheet very well. So NiceJob does that, right?
Yes, so we have all the reviews that you have connected with our program in our dashboard, where you can keep track of all your reviews. You can even respond from our dashboard to the reviews and filter through them and see what you got going on, and any feedback that is recurring where you can maybe work on your customer guidelines because of that. It's great because you can keep track of everything, as Sandy said.
Okay. I thought so, but I wanted to double check.
Yeah.
I need to log into our dashboard. I haven't looked at it yet.
So then does NiceJob own your reviews? So then if you decide that, no, not going to go with NiceJob after been signed up, do the reviews go away because NiceJob owns them?
NiceJob doesn't own any of reviews except for the NiceJob reviews. They're all going directly to Google or Facebook or whichever review site that you want, because there's no ownership to them at all. It's just a funnel to facilitate the review.
Awesome. I have been using the NiceJob widget on my website for a super long time. And honestly, I feel like that has been super awesome at getting clients.
It's a good little widget, isn't it?
We don't
Super
have that on ours. Where's ours at?
I think
Have
we
to
tried.
sort you out, Sandy.
Hmm?
I said, we'll have to sort you out. You have to, it's basically, it's in the app. You just copy a bit of code off the settings and you can paste it into your website.
Send it to Tiana.
I was gonna say, I'll send it to Tiana and let her put it on. Yeah, I didn't even know I could do that.
Yeah, just it pops up and it says so-and-so left a review on Google. So-and-so left a review on Facebook.
What if you're
the
not
engaged
actively
ones.
getting a lot of reviews? Does that
It-
not pop
it's-
up, or does it cycle through, or?
It cycles through who you already have.
Wendy, I
What?
think you have a question as well.
I do have some questions. So I know like QDS, it goes into that thing and then you push it to your website. How is this format different? Are you pushing it? Where are you pushing it to? Or is it for each thing that you're pushing it to? Is that a separate cost? I mean, I'm confused on how this works. I mean, I kind of think it's one and the same, but it's completely different. So, I mean, I heard you, Angelica, but I'm not sure I completely understand what you said. So, QDS is for the cleaners, but I get both coming that direction and I can still send it to my website. So between my website and my Google reviews, when people call all the time, they're like, your reviews are fantastic. You know, I mean, it seems like that is the number one thing. That's the first thing I hear when people call. You know, your reviews are so good. We work really hard for those. You know, they don't come easy. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out the difference with NiceJob. You know, does it just push it to, does it automatically push it to the Facebook page? Does it automatically push it to the website? Does it, where all does it send it?
How about I show you?
How about you do? That'd be great.
By the way, Wendy, how many Google reviews you have right now on your website?
Not
I'm
enough.
trying to find ours, Angelica. I'm trying to
Trying
find
to get
ours.
to 50. It's been a struggle to get to 50. Our goal is by the end of the year, if we can get to 50, we're doing a team thing. I'm like, do you guys want to do a separate thing? Each time somebody does a review, you know, like I got 3 reviews last week. And so I told the girls, I go, okay, well, I got to go review off this person. And they're like, well, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah. Like, how'd you do? I'm like, you need to ask, you know, when you're doing the walkthrough, hey, are you happy? You like it? Oh my gosh, there was that. Hey, is there any way I can get you to go on Google and give us a review? Because you know what, if you do, I get an extra bonus points for that. You know what I mean?
So
And I just
Wendy,
don't-
what CRM are you using? Using ZenMaid?
I'm using ZenMaid.
So am I.
and
So
QDS.
yeah, so ZenMaid works really well with NiceJob. And you can completely automate that whole thing where so upon completion of a job, we'll send out a text and then 3 follow-up emails, just gently reminding them to leave a review. So oftentimes the reason why people don't leave reviews is for 2 reasons. Number 1 is because it's too hard for them. So we have this link, which is called a smart link. This is my actual account right now. And the client just clicks on the link and they have the 2 choices of Google or Facebook. And when they click Facebook, it takes them directly to the Facebook page, but also pops up with a post where to leave the review. So they can leave the star rating and then add in their details and then click post right away. If they've already been invited in the program and they've already left a review, just like with Jeffrey, he wants more reviews from the same person, it'll pop up with just Facebook instead of Google. So they'll go to Google, to Facebook. Similarly, I've already left a review on my company. Like, I'm sorry, I had to, obviously. But so it would have that, oh, Sandy, go away. It would have the recommend this company button right away, where you can just click yes or no and leave a review for Facebook. So
I've
this,
heard that Facebook, hold on one second. I've heard that Facebook isn't doing the reviews anymore. Is that a true statement or no?
no, Facebook still gets reviews, and they're actually well weighted with Google because it helps with your ranking, because Google can actually pull that information into their system, with some sort of algorithm.
The difference is that it doesn't give a star rating. It's just you recommend or not recommend.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Michelle.
So it's not, you don't have as much control in this one as you do on QDS. QDS, you have more control. No matter what they do, it's your choice whether you want to bump it to your website or not. This one, you don't have that kind of control.
You can still bump it to you still have control over what goes to your website, because anything that's 4 stars or up is going to go to your website.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anything that's 4 stars or up by default, you can change it to 5 stars if you want to. I have it set to 4 stars because even 4-star reviews is good for people to see,
Yep.
to show validity that they're actual real reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other reason why people don't leave reviews is because they just simply forget. So with QDS, I don't believe they actually have a follow-up system after you ask for the Google review.
No, they don't.
So what we do is we'll send them out a text and then 3 follow-up emails within a 2-week period. Once they do leave a review though, they don't get bombarded with the extra review requests. They get booted out of the campaign, and it's very comfortable and nice for the customer. Before I started with NiceJob, I actually had a system where I reminded the customer many times, but because there's absolutely no way to have an AI system other than like in a system like ours, where it can identify if they've left that review and boot them out of the campaign, I had to go with another software.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then once we do get the review, then we'll share that review like we mentioned. But
I have that pulled up if you want me to share.
which part? Yeah, share, please.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta find the right screen. There it is. So that's what it looks like on the Facebook business page. And this is what I love about it as far as rescue goes. I don't have to worry about making sure to remember to post this. It's just done. It's just done and it pops up and I don't have to take care of it. That's the best.
What am
thing
I
in the
looking
world.
at? I'm sorry, but you're showing me this page and I don't understand why you're showing me this
Well,
page.
over because you're seeing the admin side of the Rescue My Maid Service business page.
Okay, but
So,
where,
like
how
all of
does,
this over here, most people don't usually see.
right,
But
okay,
this
so,
is like, so Kate Sloan left a review through NiceJob, through the automations or whatever they do on their end. I don't understand all the magic either. And when that was done, this was put in our feed. The post was just like poof, there it is.
okay, I'm sorry, because I got us all in this thing. Let me move this, let me move y'all over here so I can see over here what she's talking about. Okay, I get you now. Okay.
Yeah. So what Sandy's saying is that anytime you get a review that's 4 stars or up by default, we actually will create a post onto your Facebook page to share that review and add more content to your Facebook page, add more SEO, add more
And that comes with it.
completely.
with it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sandy, if you want to go to my website, gpower.ca too, we can also show like the widgets.
Never mind.
Okay, well, I'll do it then.
I froze.
Well, I've seen NiceJob all over the place, so it's not like I'm not familiar. I just didn't understand it. I mean, I've heard, it's been around for a couple of years now, so I keep hearing it, but I didn't always understand it. I'm like, why am I double doing it? So, I mean, I don't even understand why I would need QDS if I went this direction. Sorry, I'm super efficient with everything. I'm super efficient money-wise, business-wise, and cleaning-wise.
Fair enough. This is that widget that Michelle was talking about with the that pops up every 30 seconds or so with the most recent reviews.
Mhm.
And this one's my favorite, the gallery reviews. So this gallery reviews doesn't just sit here to make your site look pretty. It actually serves a huge purpose to help you get more ranking and more SEO for your business. There's also backlinked to Google. So you know that's a real review and people know it's a review that was written by a real person versus just like us, because sometimes there's reviews that are posted and they look like they're written by us.
Right.
It's more trust even before they enter our sales funnel.
Can you show the gallery review again?
Yeah. Do you have these on your website, Jeffrey?
I haven't set it up yet because I'm still just trying to understand how it's gonna display, how it's gonna look. I just sent the IT the code for the engagement widget, and I was a little hesitant earlier today because I didn't know if it cycled through or what it did, but based off of your response, you said it just keeps cycling through the message you have. So I just sent them the code snippet to add to my site, but I didn't know with the gallery review, like what does it actually do and how does it display onto my site? Is it a separate page of the site? And
You
my
could,
site?
you can choose to make it a separate page, or you can just choose it in a container of a page. And it auto updates with the most recent reviews as well, but it does have all the reviews shown with, like, you can go view more and see all the reviews on here.
I will say
Hard
too,
enough.
I have gotten that comment from people too, when they go to my website and they see the QDS reviews, they'll say that they're updated. And I appreciate you got really good reviews, but I appreciate too that they're updated. So I get, that's, I didn't realize that that was so important, but I do get a lot of feedback about that as well.
Yeah. It is important. It's good that you have that on there.
Mhm.
Oh, and just a little side note, that was a NiceJob website too, because we build websites too. Just
Mhm.
saying.
That is rescue.
Shh,
Don't compete with me.
this is my webinar. I'm just kidding.
It's a crossover event.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So how does the stories work? Like, how does that get displayed?
Oh, it's just a piece of code. We just add the code on, you just add the code to your website.
And like, how does it appear on the website? Does it appear as a separate tab, or?
You'd have to add it in a section. So how I added it on my website is on another page, and we just put a title to the page and then added it as a gallery. But you can create like a container for the gallery, and it could just be in a space there.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people put it on their homepage as part of their reviews.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So happy to see you 2 nights in a row, Jeffrey.
Right. I was like, you look familiar.
I had to wear a hat because, well, first of all, I cut my hair and I'm not very happy about it. And second of all, I was having a bad hair day. So I thought I'd hide it from everybody.
Y'all, I didn't even take my bun down, brush my hair, and straighten it until like 20 minutes before this.
All right, well,
The rest of my Zooms today, I was like this.
oh,
And
Sandy.
in a sweatshirt.
Oh, Sandy, never cease to amaze me.
It depends, on like, I know this is gonna end up being shared. So, but rescue team calls, y'all ought to see us.
Speaking of this being shared, make sure you jump on. You can also contact me at Angelica@nicejob.com. I'd be happy to help you guys out. Thank you to everybody that joined. Thank you to those watching afterwards. Just shoot me a message if you have any questions. I know that some of you already booked. And have a wonderful Thursday evening.
Gels, Michelle, can you two stay on for 1 minute? I promise I will not keep you long.
No,
Sure.
of course.
Thank you, everyone. This was excellent.
Bye.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you tomorrow, Misty.